Welcome to yoga. Our theme today is I will survive. And when I say that word, it's like I was looking at the etymology of the word become. And become comes from a change of state from one state to the next. It's achieving a transformation inside our body and outside our mind. And I will survive is a little bit about that. It's like achieving a transformation when you survive something. So come into child's pose and just be here. Stretch your arms forward, sit on your heels, take a deep breath in and let it go. I will survive is a little more than surviving. It's about transformation. When you survive a certain thing, a certain event in your life, you become somebody else. Your story changes in your body and your mind. You build resilience, self-confidence. You become somebody else. There's a transformation. There's a growth that happens. Downward facing dog. Lift your heels up. And then bring your heels down. There's a becoming of somebody. Stretch your hands to the top of the mat. Ujjayi. And then walk your feet to the top of the mat, ragdoll. Ujjayi. You can reach for each elbow, let your head drop. Bend your knees just a bit. Make sure your feet are at 12 o'clock. And then lift your 10 toes. Don't look at the toes, look between your legs. Bend one knee, bend the next. Ujjayi. Let it go. Go towards the ball of your feet, lifting your heels slightly. Ujjayi. I will survive. Easy to survive this pose, right? So we think, Ujjayi, resisting the urge to move or to do anything here, waiting for the transformation. Ujjayi, breathing in, letting it go, resisting the urge to do anything, staying uncomfortable. Ujjayi. Breathe in and breathe out. Ujjayi. Staying here a little longer. And then drop your hands and then slowly ragdoll your way all the way up to mountain pose. Hands by your side, palms facing forward. Bring your feet at 12 o'clock, hip width distance between the 2 feet. And then bring your hands to heart center. We'll start the class with one Om together. Inhale to Om, inhale. Inhale, hands to the ceiling and fold forward. Looking for a transformation here. Hands to your shins, halfway lift. Bring your hands on your hips and bring your elbows towards each other. Stretch the neck. Bring your lower spine towards the belly. Pull your belly into the lower spine. And then staying here, surviving this pose. We're looking for a transformation in the survival, like something new, something that's going to change your life, change the way you are. And that happens when you're staying uncomfortable a little longer. Ujjayi. Pull your shoulder blades together. Breathing in. Focus right down, straight down. Make sure your back is straight. and fold. Hands to the mat, plank pose, and low plank, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. Ujjayi. Breathe in and breathe out. Bend your knees and float forward. Halfway lift, forward fold. Inhale all the way up to extended mountain. Look up and fold forward. Halfway lift, bring your hands to your hips. Lengthen the lower back. Bring your elbows together. Look straight down. Remove the ripples in the back of your neck. Becoming somebody else here. Waiting for the transformation. Bring your lower back towards your belly. Micro bend your knees just a bit. Ujjayi. Staying a little longer uncomfortable in this pose. Pull your shoulder blades together. Pull their shoulders into their socket. It doesn't seem like much of a pose, right? But you're working here. There's something going on. You can feel it in your belly. You can feel it in the back of your legs, maybe. Ujjayi. And fold forward. Plank pose. And low plank, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Ujjayi. Shoulder blades together. Breathe in. And then float forward. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Extended mountain, hands to the ceiling. Take a deep breath in and sit in your chair. Ujjayi. Breathe in. Sit deeper into your chair. Ujjayi. Don't collapse the knees. Open your shoulder and sit into your chair. Ujjayi. Breathing in. Shoulder blades. Open your shoulder, open your chest and fold forward. Halfway lift. And then Chaturanga Dandasana, plank. Low plank, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Breathing in, letting it go. Ujjayi. Right foot, right hand, warrior one. Ujjayi. And plank pose. Low plank, upward facing dog, downward facing dog, warrior one, left hand side. Plank pose. Low plank, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Ujjayi. Breathe in and breathe out. Bend your knees and float forward. Halfway lift. Forward fold, chair pose. Open your shoulders. Open your arms. Sit in your chair. Ujjayi. And fold forward. Halfway lift. Chaturanga Dandasana. Plank. Low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Warrior one. Right hand side. Plank pose. Low plank. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Warrior one, left hand side. Breathing in and plank pose. Low plank, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Creating the movement. Ujjayi. Breathing in. Drop one elbow to the mat and then the other. And then bring your chest towards the mat. Come into dolphin plank. And then rise up to our upward facing dog. And then back to downward plank and downward facing dog. Ujjayi. You can do this by lifting one elbow at a time or just do it together. So elbows to the mat. Get into dolphin plank, upward facing dog, elbows. And then dolphin plank, downward facing dog. Continue this movement while I adjust my mic. Just do a few of these. Continuing the movement until it becomes fluid. Ujjayi. You can drop one elbow at a time if you want to. It's all good. Ujjayi. Ujjayi. Try to bring your chest as close to the mat as you can. We'll survive. And downward facing dog. Warrior one, right hand side. Ujjayi. Plank pose. Low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Warrior one, left hand side. Plank pose. Low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in and let it go. Float forward. Halfway lift. Chair pose. Shoulder blades together. Sit in your chair. Ujjayi. It's like staying uncomfortable, doing the opposite of what you want to do. Typically, when it's uncomfortable, we want to leave. This is where transformation happens. And you will survive. You'll survive this, and you'll transform. You will survive. Look at how many times you've survived. Ujjayi. Sit in a chair. How many times you've survived worse things in your life? You're still here. Ujjayi. And you've transformed, you've grown, you've changed. You became somebody else. Change your stories. Sit in your chair. And fold forward. Halfway lift. Chaturanga Dandasana plank. Low plank, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Ujjayi. Warrior one, right hand side. Breathe in. Plank pose. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Warrior one, left hand side. Breathe in. Plank pose. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Ujjayi. Bring your feet wide, your hands wide. Long downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. And drop one elbow and then the next. Bring your chest towards the mat for plank, for dolphin plank, and upward facing dog. Lift your elbows up and then back to dolphin plank and downward facing dog. Lift the elbows. Do that again. We'll do that 5 or 6 times. Yogi go. Ujjayi. You will survive. Go as slow or as fast as you want. Ujjayi. Continue the movement until the transformation happens. You will survive. And meet in downward facing dog. Right foot to the sky and flip your dog. Side plank on the left. Bring your right hand to your hip. Bring your hip down and up while bringing your left leg up and down and up and up, down, up, down, up, down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Plank pose, downward facing dog. Flip your dog on the left. A little bit of a rest. Ujjayi. Side plank on the right. Left hand on the hip. Bring your leg up and then down, hip down, and hip and leg up and down and up and down and up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Downward facing dog. Ujjayi. Bend one knee and the next. Crescent lunge on the right leg, right foot. You're gonna ball of your left foot. Bend that right knee. Ujjayi. Hands to heart center, twist to the right. Expand your chest. Ujjayi. Warrior 2. Left foot at 45 degrees. And extended side angle. Let's go for a bind today. Or half bind. You can use a strap for your bind. Look towards the sky. Open the chest. You will survive this. We're just in a extended side angle. It's like nothing, right? Until we become uncomfortable. Then you start looking at, oh, am I going to survive? You will survive this pose. You will transform the muscles in your mind, the stories in your body. Ujjayi. Look up, expand your chest and upper back. Ujjayi. Surviving this pose. I will survive. I will stay here longer. Breathing in. Ujjayi. This is where it starts to count right here. And hands to the mat. Plank pose. Low plank, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Crescent lunge on the left foot, left hand. Ball of your right foot. Ujjayi. Open your chest, hands to heart center, twist to the left. Right elbow, left knee. Open your chest up, look up. Ujjayi. Open up to warrior two. Your right foot's at 45 degrees, heel is down. Breathe in and out. Extended side angle, go for the bind. Half bind, full bind. Using a strap. Just go for it. Look up towards your right shoulder. Lift your chin up. You will survive. I will survive. I will survive. I will survive. I will transform. I will become. We'll stop the stories. Staying uncomfortable. I will become. I will transform. Ooh. To change the story. Ujjayi. This is where it starts to count right here. You can feel it. Maybe one side is a little harder than the next. We'll just make sure it's the same. We'll stay in the same amount of time. Ujjayi. Hands to the mat, plank pose. Low plank, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Ujjayi. Bend your knees and float forward. Come into Malasana squat. And we'll go into crow pose. Ujjayi. Catching our breath before we go there. Push your hips open. Push your knees open. Ujjayi. And let's go into crow pose. Hands to the mat. Bring your knees as high as you can on your tricep and lean forward. Lift one knee, leg, and then the next. Ujjayi. Feet together. Big toe mount touch. Spread your toes. Ujjayi. And release. Malasana squat. Hands to your heart. Push your knees open. We'll go into crow pose one more time. Yogi go. Now. Now bring your forehead to the mat. And then from here, come into tripod headstand, if you can. Ujjayi. And then back into crow pose. Bend your knees. Ujjayi. Try this a few times or stay in crow. Or try it against a wall. You will survive. You may fall, but you will survive. Continue doing this movement. 2. And 3. 2 more. From crow to tripod headstand. And 4. Last one. in Malasana squat. Ujjayi. Maybe you fell a few times. Maybe you didn't. It's all good. Come all the way up. And we'll do chair pose from here. Hands to the sky. Sit in your chair. Hands to heart center. Twist to the right. And your big toes together. Heels fall apart. Sit in your chair. Maybe you expand your arms. Surviving this. Twist even harder, even better. Going to the uncomfortable. Chair pose. Twist to the right, to the left. Right elbow, left knee. Open your arms. Chair pose. And fold forward. Bring your feet hip width apart. Reach your peace finger for your inside the big toe. And fold forward. Ujjayi. Breathe in and breathe out. Palms to toes. Bring your palms underneath your feet till your toe touches your wrist and pull. Ujjayi. Come all the way up. Mountain pose. Eagle on your right. Bring your feet together. Hands to the sky. Right arm on the left. Sit in your chair. Right leg over left. Ujjayi. Releasing the tension, the cortisol that was built throughout your day, your night in this pose. Sit deep into the chair. Bring your knee on top of the ankle. Lift the shoulders up. Put the shoulders into their sockets. Stay in this pose. Ujjayi. And release. Shake that off. Eagle on the left. Hands to the sky. Left arm under right. Reach for your hands on your shoulders. And bend your knees. Bring your left leg over right and sit. Lift the elbows, expand the chest, and then sit. Sit in the chair, bring your knee on top of the ankle. Push your glutes back. Bring your thighs together. Ujjayi. Transformation, survival. When you survive something, you become something else, right? And release. Eagle on the right, yogi go. Like you can see the transformation. When you accomplish something that you didn't think you could accomplish, there's a transformation that happens in your mind. Like a muscle is being built, or a new story is being stored in your body about survival, that you will survive. that you're bigger than the things that happen to you. Ujjayi. Sit down deep into the chair. Ujjayi. You will survive this. Ujjayi. Sit deep into the chair. Ujjayi. This is where the transformation happens, right here. Where it's uncomfortable, you start to shake or quiver or lose balance. Feeling in the abdomen. Feel everything. This is where it happens, right here. And release. Hands up by your side, palms facing forward, mountain pose. Be in this transformation right now. Be here, become somebody else. Breathe in. Hands to the sky, eagle on the left, yogi go. Wrap your arms left on the right, left over right legs. Sit in the chair. Become. Waiting for the becoming of a new you. Being uncomfortable. Looking for the uncomfortable, not the comfortable. Be excited to be uncomfortable. Ujjayi. Breathe in. Stay a little longer here. Sit deeper. Lift the elbows a little higher. This is where it is. It's counting right now. Release the toes. Squeeze the thighs together. This is the transformation that happens right now. Ujjayi. Mountain pose. Shake that off. Take a deep breath in and be here. Observe the thighs, the calf, the toes, the shoulders, the belly. Ujjayi. Take a giant step with your right foot. Triangle pose. Bring your right foot at 45 degrees. Hands straight up. Left arm, left shin. Ujjayi. Come on up. Point all 10 toes towards the side wall. We'll do forward fold. I'm going to do it on the side so you can see. Bring your hands to your hips. Bring your shoulder blades together. We're going to do side facing forward fold, wide legged. So take a longer step with your foot, with your feet, and then fold at your hips. Fold at your hips. Don't move your hips forward or backwards. Just fold forward. Bring your lower back, your shoulder blades together. As you bring forward, bring your elbows towards each other. Don't crimple the neck. Straight neck towards the spine. Come back up. Inhale. Expand your chest and upper back. Bring your shoulder blades together. And then keep your hips there. At the hips, fold. Unwrap, make sure there's no ripple in the neck. Straight neck, straight spine. Come on up. And we'll do this a few more times at your own pace. Set up every time. And yogi go. Pay attention to the back and the neck, the elbows. Just keep repeating the up and down. Bring your belly to the spine. Ujjayi. Come on up and down. Come on up and come on down. Come on up and come on down. Come on up. Just getting to this movement, using your breath as a movement. Once you set up, perfect back. Be observant of the transformation in your back of your legs. Each time you come up and go back down. Keep the movement. When you come up, pull your belly towards the spine, activating your muscles and your abs. Ujjayi. Keep moving. Ujjayi. Keep the movement. Ujjayi. Come all the way up. Turn your right toes towards the back of the mat. Triangle pose on the right. Breathing in and come on up. All 10 toes towards your front. Namaste your hands and fold forward. Ujjayi. Twisting triangle, right hand to the mat, left hand up. Come on up, 2 feet together, mountain pose. Take a small step with your left foot. Namaste your hands in the back and fold forward. Left hand to the mat, right hand up, twisting triangle. Both hands to the mat, plank pose. Low plank, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. So we'll do the same movement at the beginning of a class. Bring one elbow to the mat, the next. Come into dolphin plank, upward facing dog, lift your elbows, and then come back down, dolphin plank, downward facing dog. Lift the elbows, elbows to the mat, dolphin plank, upward facing dog, dolphin plank, downward facing dog, lift the elbows. Repeat this movement for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Meet in downward facing dog. Come into plank and come all the way down to the mat. Cobra Pose. Top of the feet to the mat, hands just underneath your shoulders, just a bit look behind that. Lift your legs, lift your chest, lift your arms. Ujjayi. Straighten out your arms. Lift everything and release. Baby Cobra number 2. Good to go. Hands straight out. Pull up, straighten up, shoulders into their socket. Pull higher. 10, 9, 8, 7. You will survive. 4, 3, 2, and release. Floor bowl, bend your knees. Reach for the outside of your feet and kick into your hands. Open your chest, look towards the sky, kick. Ujjayi, kick harder, higher, lift higher, and release. Enjoy wash your feet. Ujjayi. Upward facing dog. And come to sit on your heels. Camel pose. Take one breath here and stand on your knees. Hands in your imaginary jean pocket. Push your hips forward, look up and back. You can reach for your heels, the mat. Pushing your hips forward. Breathe in. Oh. Breathe out. Breathe in. Oh. Breathe out. And release. Sit on your heels. Hands to your thighs. Palms facing down to ground. Facing up to inspire. Ujjayi. Come to lie on your back. We'll do bridge pose. Bend your knees so you can touch your heels with your hands. And then bring your hips up. Bind your hands in the back underneath your glutes and push your hips up here higher. Ujjayi. Stay here or come into wheel. In wheel, hands on top of your ears, fingers pointing backwards towards your feet. Go in the ball of your head and leg and straighten out your hand, your arms. Breathe in. You will survive. Survive this. Survive many more things. Push your hips up. Shoulder blades together. Ujjayi. Becoming somebody else, something else, some other story. You will survive. Last 15 seconds. Ujjayi. 5 seconds. And release. Supta Baddha Konasana, feet together, knees fall apart. One hand on your belly, the other one on your heart. Breathing in and breathing out. Ujjayi. Breathe in and breathe out. Bridge your wheel, yogi, go. Set her up and then go into it without hesitation, deliberation, justification. You don't want to do it, so you do it. You become it by going inside of it, going deeper inside of it. Ujjayi. Lift the toes. Breathing in, breathing out. Ujjayi. You got this. You have this. You've been here before. We were just here 2 seconds ago. 15 seconds, you got this. 10 seconds. It's almost done. 5 seconds. And released. Supta Baddha Konasana. Knees fall apart, feet together, one hand on the belly, the other on the heart. Ujjayi. Happy baby. Bring your knees to your chest. And you can reach for the inside of the big toe with your peace finger. Bring your knees towards the side ribs. Rib cage. Ujjayi. Yeah, there's a transformation that happens when you're in the pose, right? Longer. When you're doing something longer. Yesterday, I was hooking some electrical and it wasn't going well. I took a deep breath and I stayed longer. I started over again. I had made a mistake. It took me 3 trials before I got it. Then I learned something about myself, that I could survive. I could become somebody else, something else. I could do something, accomplish something. Knees to your chest, abdominal twist. Bring your knees on top of your hips. Yeah. Hands behind your ears, straighten out the right leg. Bring your right shoulder to the left knee. And then switch sides. And then switch. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 1. So what are you going to do today to survive? Become. Yeah. It's not waiting for something to happen that we survive. It's going and being uncomfortable in the things that we don't want to do, that we develop this survival instinct, this possibility. Keep doing abdominal twists here as I'm talking. Yeah. It's doing the things that we don't want to do. You can cooped up in your home and do nothing and wait for life to happen. Wait for the storm to pass. Or you can, be resilient and build up a resiliency for the storm that's going to happen in your life. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knees to your chest. Ujjayi. Rock back and forth 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Boat pose. Hands behind your knees. Lean back, lift the legs and release the knees. Straighten the legs. Ujjayi. Low boat and high boat. Low boat and high boat. Low boat and high boat. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knees to your chest. Half pigeon. Right knee bent. Left leg straight on the ball of your left foot. And then come on your elbows. It's not a resting pose, this half pigeon. Bring your right hip lower, like pull it backwards and lower towards the mat. Toes are flexed. You build a survival instinct by doing things you don't want to do. Doing the opposite of what you want to do. One more rep, one more thing, one more line, one more, whatever it is, one more time. Not looking for perfection here. You're looking for a perfect moment, not a perfect you. But you're building muscles and resilience. And as guys, like this competition aspect of being a guy has been like beating out of us, right? Beaten out of us. We don't, it's bad to win. It's bad to compete, bad to flex. And we lose our resilience with doing that. We lose our ability to become someone else. Switch sides. So I invite you to go and stay longer, do longer things, build up the resiliency so you can build up the survival instincts. It'll come naturally. One of my coaches, Robin Sharma, used to tell me, like, I asked him, how do you get courage? He said, well, you practice courage. Well, survival is the same thing. You practice survival. And the way you practice is you become someone every day. You do one more rep, one more time. You go one more second. You stay uncomfortable in the conversations, in the work, in the doing. Do the things that are the opposite. To be the 1%, you have to do what the 1% will do. Have you ever heard that? This is true, right? You have to wake up and do something. And that builds up the survival muscle. Yeah, you have to wake up and do it to build up the survival muscle. And release. So let's build our legs forward and wide. Push your glutes up a little bit. And then bring your hands to the front or to your big toes and fold at the hips. Fold at the hips. Maybe you can just fold a little. You can fold all the way down. Pull a little bit with your fingers. Ujjayi. It's all good, right? Folding at the hips. Shoulder blades together. Pull your lower spine towards your belly. Pushing your hips back. Put your toes towards your nose and fold. Survival. Do one thing here, one small movement. And it's small sometimes. It's not like nobody can notice it. It's a small little, but you feel it. You know it. You know it's uncomfortable. Nobody else has to know that it's uncomfortable. Stay uncomfortable. And release. Come to lie on your back. Do supine twist. Knees to your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. And knees to the right, gaze to the left. I'll leave you in Shavasana for 26 breaths after the supine twist. And then write in your journal, how am I going to practice survival? What is the thing I'm going to do to practice survival? Where am I going to build the resilience today? In one thing, doing one more thing, and knees to the left, gaze to the right. What are you going to become today? What transformation? Today we were tired on the shoulders, right? And the abs, like you feel that. You'll feel that tomorrow. You'll know, right? Knees to your chest, give yourself a squeeze everything. Shavasana. Ah, let it go. Ah, ujjayi. Breathe in and let it go. Ujjayi. What are you going to do to survive, to practice survival today? Breathe in and let it go. Be here and be in the moment of your body, in your mind, and feel the transformation as it happens right now. That's the feeling of transformation right now, as your body is rebuilding the muscle, the survival, rebuilding the stories about yourself right now. That's what's happening right now in your body as you're in Shavasana. Take a deep breath in and let it go.